Hello, and welcome to Move or Improve with Debbie. I'm Debbie Miller, your host. And as you know from listening to my previous podcasts, I specialize in helping seniors and adult children either sell the family home or age in place safely. I prepare plans for my clients to help them succeed with either decision they make. I'm a realtor and I'm also a certified aging in place specialist. It's a designation given by the National Association of Home Builders to contractors and designers who specialize in the field of home improvements related to safety in the home. Since 1995, I've helped hundreds of people over the age of 50 make tough choices. And I want to focus today on the monetary cost to remain where you are, but to make it safe to do so. How much is that going to cost you? Well, let's review first. There's 5 stages of aging for older adults. There's the independent stage, and that means you're basically self-sufficient. You can stay in your home because you can choose to do this. You can handle the day-to-day tasks like, paying bills, grocery shopping, changing the sheets on your bed. This is the ideal time, though, to evaluate where you would like to go in the future. Do you want to stay where you are or do you want to move? It's better to make the decisions yourself rather than having someone else step in during an emergency and make those decisions for you. And the next phase is known as interdependence. So that means that everyday tasks may become more challenging, like, yard work, paying bills, doing laundry. You can still get up and get dressed, but driving is more of a challenge. And that challenge could be due to arthritis or a bad knee or any number of other things that make it difficult to move around easily. The third phase is called dependency, and that just means that it's hard to manage many tasks that you normally could do, and there may be signs of mental decline and physical decline as well. And this is the point where you would consider like a health monitoring system or having a caregiver come in or a companion. And the last stage is total dependency. You need to rely on many support systems to keep your life enjoyable. And the question you should ask yourself is, how long can you remain in your home? And what services and help do you need to make this possibility a reality? And as long as you're able to care for yourself or you have access to the necessary services that can provide the care you need, then aging in place is a viable option. Because the kids are grown and gone and they're on their own. The house holds lots of memories for you and you want to stay instead of move. And that's not unusual. You're not as spry as you were 30 years ago, though, when you're going up and down the steps and caring for the yard was easier and cleaning the gutters. But AARP says that 76% of Americans over the age of 50 want to stay put. And 77% want to stay in the same neighborhood. So if you're aging alone, and 25% or more of you will be in that category, then you need to have the resources in place to be a solo senior. The Administration of Aging found that 37% of U.S. women over 65 live by themselves and they like their independence. Single women need a more personalized and detailed retirement plan. You need a trusted circle of friends who you can call on to help you. So let's talk about some ways we can solve that problem. It's often less expensive to stay where you are than to move into a condo or an assisted living environment. Simple solutions to age in place can cost less than even $10,000. And you want to look at the website www.longtermcare.gov for the costs of a semi-private room in a nursing home, and check Medicare Part B so that if you want the government to foot the bill for an occupational therapist, by taking advantage of Medicare Part C, you may qualify for the cost of some renovations. But there's a lot of work involved to remain safely in your home to improve the safety of it. And there's home maintenance, there's caring for yourself as you get older, there's long-term care. Even simple tasks like changing the sheet on your bed move to the top of your list of concerns. Older homes cost more to maintain on the most part, but moving to a smaller place that's convenient may cost you more than you planned on, and that's why doing an analysis is so important. You'll need strong support from a group of close friends, like I said, and make sure that your finances can support medical emergencies and day-to-day repairs as well. And if you're isolated or alone or both, it will be even more challenging. So you want to check your local area agency on aging for help and resources. Now ask yourself, if you're married and you lose your spouse, have you made the necessary arrangements to live independently? Do you have a will or a trust in place? Do you have a medical directive? Would someone you trust know how to pay your bills or take care of issues with the house in case of an emergency? This information has to be written down or on your computer with instructions on how to access it. And don't forget, there's no point in storing information on your computer if no trusted individual has your password to access it. If you decide to have work done on your home to make it safer, you need to remove the clutter and clear a path for workers to come in and install safety measures for you. So do you have somebody to help you with that? There are many companies out there that can help with the decluttering process. Depending on the extent of your project, you may need to be without a bathroom while the one you have is being retrofitted with appropriate fixtures to make it more comfortable for you to use. And the kitchen is the same way. As you age, you may have to give up your car and rely on other transportation. Do you know what options are available for you to use? Talking about this now, while you're still able to make those decisions, is a smart move. I've worked with too many families who wait until there's an emergency. Mom or dad go to the hospital and they had a stroke or a heart attack. Decisions have to be made quickly and under emotional stress, and that's not a way to live. To age in place requires planning. If you don't plan, we have a term for that. It's called stuck in place. When you're stuck, you can't afford to make the needed improvements and you don't have the resources that you need to help you live safely and comfortably as you adjust to your new lifestyle. Don't wait. Think of it ahead of time. If you look at all the areas that need improvements, it will overwhelm you, most likely. I mean, it's a lot to think about. And no one knows what will happen to their health as they age. If your parents suffered from chronic illness, what is the likelihood you'll develop those same issues? You may never be mobility impaired and require a wheelchair or a walker, but if you need hip replacement or knee surgery, wouldn't it be better to have a same level space for eating, living, and bathing? It's better to create a plan ahead of time than wait for a fall or serious illness to make modifications. It takes time and money to find a reputable contractor and create the plan and implement it, and then put everything back, get rid of stuff that you don't need. It takes time. But before you spend money to make improvements, you should decide for sure, does it make sense to stay where you are? If you have a spouse or a significant other, how would that person do if he or she had to make social connections if you were gone? If you move to a community, there are opportunities to socialize and you'll live maintenance free. But only you can decide what's best. You're in charge of your well-being. At the top of your list, you should have a wellness plan. Being fit and healthy will increase the likelihood that you can successfully stay where you are. Strength training and doing exercises to help your balance will help in fall prevention. Regardless of whether you move or stay, you want to make sure you have a local grocery store that can shop and deliver your groceries for you if you can't get out. If you become seriously ill, you want to have a doctor who can take care of you during that emergency and after you get home. So you want to talk to home health advisors to see what they provide and whether your health plan will cover what you need. Now, your primary goal when you're aging in place is to make your home safe for you to move about easily and safely so you can remain there as long as possible. But what does it cost and what do you need? Now, keep in mind, I haven't visited your home, so I can only give you a rough idea of what to expect. And I'm using numbers from Remodeling Magazine, which is really the industry standard. So let's go through the different areas of the house, inside and out, and just give you a ballpark estimate. First of all, you're probably going to want to make bathroom improvements. You're going to, first of all, need to have the floor space to make it so that you could turn a wheelchair around, or a home healthcare aide could assist you in the bathroom. You may want to have a walk-in tub or a shower. Well, a curbless shower is an ideal way to bathe because there's nothing to step over. Now, walk-in tub requires that you have to get inside the tub and then close the little door and then fill the tub with water to bathe. And then you have to stay seated until the water drains out after you're finished. Depending on the size of the area and the condition of the plumbing and what you need to make it easier to use the bathroom fully, the cost for a tub or shower could run anywhere from $3,000 to $15,000. You want to put in non-slip flooring like rubber matting or slip-resistant vinyl, and that can run anywhere from $5,000 to $12,000. Again, it's depending on the size of your bathroom and the amount of flooring that has to be replaced. A solution as simple as a non-slip bath mat with suction to hold it in place can really cost less than $20. Just want to make sure that no moisture collects under it, since that can produce mold. Another nice thing to have is a touchless sink faucet, and that's helpful because you just put your hand near the sensor and the water comes on automatically. Prices could be as low as $200, but you could pay as much as $400 to $600 and more. Again, it depends on the plumbing and the other space issues. You can also install a lever handle on the sink and the door to the bathroom. That costs less, but you have to lift it to turn it on and off or open the door. So when you're redoing a shower or bath, you want to make sure that when you rip out existing walls, you have the contractor add supports behind the tile behind the tub or shower so that a grab bar could be installed easily later on, and make sure it's the right height for you. I can tell you, if you don't do it right, if you grab hold of that grab bar and there's no support behind it, it's going to pull right off and you're still going to take a fall. So you need to just be sure that that's done for you. And you're also going to want a taller toilet. And you want to make sure, again, that you have enough space for you and a wheelchair and a care provider should you need assistance. Another area of the house to think about is kitchen improvements. So if you have trouble bending over, you'll want to install higher counters so you don't have back problems. If you're wheelchair bound, you'll prefer having cabinets and counters lowered. A simple kitchen remodel can run anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000. It depends on the size of the kitchen and what has to be done. But if you're going to just replace a simple thing like a stove, make sure you have knobs on the front for easy reaching. It makes more sense to do it that way. And electric stoves are safer than gas. Sometimes people forget to turn off a gas burner, and electric won't catch on fire. For interior and exterior improvements, if there's steps leading to your front door and no other easy access available, then you might want to consider installing a ramp. A contractor who is specialized in the aging process can accommodate your needs. They can design an aesthetically pleasing access ramp so it's to code and looks good. Since older homes tend to not be built for aging in place, sometimes you have to widen the hallway and the doorway. The accepted width for hallways is a minimum of 36 inches to accommodate a wheelchair or walker. And to accommodate an interior door, the cost depends on the type of door that's needed, construction of the walls, so that if you have